So we saw Seth Rollins arriving at Raw this week half naked, whereas the rest of his crew were fully clothed. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but I think that's a bit weird. Also, I would warn you, I literally just stepped off a plane after flying home from Canada, where I did perform for Evil Uno's Mystery Wrestling. So this is going to be a really weird ups and downs. But I've told you now, and yes, I am wearing my Goofy Wrestling for Life shirt for a reason. We'll get there in 2 seconds. But hello, buddies. Let's up those downs for Montag Night Raw. The one before Money in the Bank. Michael Cole also then got half naked after he lost a bet to Pat McAfee about the NBA Finals. I like the flab is going on here. When out came CM Punk, he got a big pop. He let us know that it was summertime and the Money in the Bank. When the NBA Finals are on, make sure you watch Raw or SmackDown. Don't watch anything else. When he continued to tell us it is the summer of Punk, which was a callback to 2011. And by the way, around that time, I not only won the Money in the Bank once, I won it twice. So given that I am going to hopefully qualify later, I can become a 3-time Money in the Bank winner. And oh yeah, every time I did cash in, I was 100% successful. Punk was then talking about all the champions he could face, and he was like, Jey Uso, if we have to go one-on-one, it will be business, or, you know, you are my friend, but I'll whoop your ass and take your title. Whereas as for John Cena, we don't like him now. He's being operated or controlled by a bald fraud. I was like, there's no need for that, CM Punk. I know you're getting on now, but maybe it will come for you one day too. You never know what Mother Nature is going to do. But yeah, we did make it very clear that CM Punk versus John Cena is probably on the cards. But also, CM Punk looked into the camera and said, I want to be the WWE champion. And he said this at the end of last year. So it's coming, my friends. The question is when. He also called John Cena a bitch, which is when out came Sami Zayn, which was a very interesting time to make it known. He was like, listen to me. I can't win Money in the Bank because of Seth Rollins and his dastardly fools. So you, not always Gandalf, but you must win this match later. Otherwise, Raw is going to be transformed to something that nobody is going to like. So sounds quite exciting, to be honest. That sounds like the Empire Strikes Back version of Monday nights. Maybe like Skeletor's in control. So now I do want to see Seth Rollins win the championship, just because I want to go, well, what the flub are they going to do? Zayn was also like, listen, don't even worry about those morons, because me and Jey Uso will keep an eye out so you can be so focused on this main event. And it eventually ended with CM Punk saying, I'll be champion. Sami Zayn being like, well, I want to be champion too. Meaning, if it does all go away for CM Punk, the next time they have a chat, they will have a very different conversation. Obviously, don't have the same conversation. How boring would that? If I was a friend and all we did was have the same conversation over and over again, and he rang me up and said, Sam, you want to come to tea? I'd be like, absolutely not. This really did work though, because not only did CM Punk and Sami Zayn feel like massive stars, but now Seth Rollins and his band of brothers were like, oh my gosh, we need to watch them, because maybe they will take over, and maybe it will be absolutely terrible. And also, in 2025, we're going to have to at least have the tease of CM Punk becoming the champion or Sami Zayn becoming the champion. And both of those are pretty special in their own individual reasons. So it's always nice when people are talking about the world title. It makes it feel important. Roxanne Perez was then in the back talking to Liv Morgan as well as Raquel. I have stopped wearing sunglasses because people know that I am a bad guy now, Rodriguez. And they were all like, listen, Roxy, don't get involved in our stuff anymore. We don't like you. When Liv went off to have her match and she bumped into Io Sky again, they fell out. Tease. She timed this super duper well as well, because it was time for Ivy Nile versus Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer, and thank goodness we did this awesome video for Stephanie. I don't really mind if people do just want to turn up, hang out and play Nintendo, but this just establishes that she is going to be a big deal. There's a small part of me in all of wrestling that just misses like the big vignettes that we used to get in the weeks leading up to a build, but Stephanie Vaquer was made for the main roster, so she cut her teeth in NXT, and as this match showed, she's gonna be totally fine. Just before we get into that though, mostly because there were some light chants during the promo segment, but they got much louder here. Indeed, the crowd in Oklahoma started to shout, "We want truth." I don't think they were talking about someone being honest to them. They were talking about our truth, who incredibly, and I mean that in the most literal sense of the word, got released or let go, whichever word you want to use, from WWE this week. I mean, if you do not know, his contract expired and WWE decided not to re-up it. And before I get into this, I want to make it very clear, because I can't handle any more social media messages about this. I understand it's not just WWE. I understand it's not just wrestling. It's the entire landscape of capitalism and what a business is. But it also can land, hit me in my tum-tum and my brain and my mouth simultaneously go, well, that absolutely sucks, and it's made me sad, because R-Truth is one of my favorite wrestlers ever, especially in the current day. That's why I'm wearing the GWFL Cannot Talk shirt on this episode of Ups and Downs, which you can buy now, should you do care, because he was the king. He was the GOAT of Goofy Wrestling, and do you know what he did? He made me laugh. He entertained me. He made me want to see him on my television screen. And if I am going to take 2 to 476 hours every week, because there's so much wrestling on television, to dedicate it to pro wrestling, I just want to enjoy myself. And R-Truth never dropped the ball. He never let me down. I don't care he was 53 years old. I don't care if he was 142. If I'm having a good time with him, what the flub do I care? I don't care how much money he was on. I was a fan. I don't need to worry about financials. WWE seems to be doing all right. So of course, they're well within their rights to get rid of whoever the flub they want. But I am also well within my right as a fan just to be like, this was a terrible decision. Let's give him his flowers. He is absolutely brilliant. He is absolutely awesome. I love that man. And I would totally miss seeing him from WWE television. Anyway, back into this match. Because Vaquer was a threat, Ivy Nile and Liv Morgan made sure to mug her off right away. And Stephanie just came back with a double cross body. And then she did the devil's kiss to both of them. And everybody in the crowd was doing that weird Booker T noise. I don't want to be a negative Nancy or a party pooper. But if we could phase that out pretty quickly, I wouldn't mind at all. Liv Morgan then did her 3 amigos, and she was getting a lot of cheers here, so if we do want to keep her heel, we're going to have to do something dastardly, when of course it was Ivy Nile's turn, because she's jacked, she was throwing everyone around. She also gave a double German suplex to both of them, which was pretty cool when we got another R-Truth chant. When Liv Morgan went for the 3 amigos again, and of course it didn't work. Do you not watch the show? Do you not pay attention to pro wrestling? You cannot spam moves. What it does is, it screws up your meter, and the game's algorithm tells the opponent that you are facing, no matter what difficulty level you're on. They're trying to do the same move so that you can go, and then you get really mad in your Tootsie Toes. Vaquer then went nuts and slammed both of them in the corner when she did this crazy dragon suplex to Ivy Nile. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's pulled her leg right out of the socket. Then I realized if that was the case, there would have been a bigger reaction, and it would have been obvious. So maybe I was hallucinating. Morgan and Stephanie then traded off, and there is huge potential for that feud down the line. When they counted each other, they went 1, 2, 3. We should go to Tina the Turnbuckle and do the Tower of Doom spot, and that's what they did, and we should all thank them. Because do not forget, in a triple threat match, if you don't get the Tower of Doom spot, aliens attack and they wipe us all out. So thank you very much. They then went pin crazy because they had remembered what show they were watching and that the surprise roll-up is the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment. When Liv Morgan scored with a double code breaker and she pinned both of them, sucked to be her, only got a 1-2-0. Morgan was then able to hit the Oblivion onto Stephanie Vaquer, and then Ivy Nile did WWE's other favourite triple threat thing. She tried to steal the pin, but it didn't work, and when they were fighting outside the ring, Ivy went, see ya Liv, and she threw her to one side. When she got back in the ring, Vaquer was like, ha ha, I've taken my Phoenix down, I'm good to go. She hit her finisher, 1, 2, 3, which means Stephanie Vaquer is going to Money in the Bank. And look at this lineup for the women's ladder match. Any one of them could win, and you'd probably be totally fine with it. So I thought this was really good, and it was a great way to introduce Stephanie Vaquer properly. I know she's been on Raw before. I'm most definitely giving it an up. AJ Styles was then backstage doing this into the camera. I understand that he was warming up for his main event, but if you watched on mute, you'd be really confused when in walked Paul Heyman. What a lovely man. He wished AJ Styles happy birthday. Now, apparently AJ couldn't see him at all because Paul was right there and you'd have to be blind. And he went full manipulator mode here. He was like, you don't need to win this Money in the Bank qualifier. I've heard Dominic Mysterio has been saying terrible things about you. So you can just ignore this and go after the IC title. My nerd hand went up and I was like, wait a minute. WWE is long established. If you win the Money in the Bank briefcase, you can go after whatever championship you want. Case in point, 2022, that goober Austin Theory tried to win the US Championship and he totally failed. You will be shocked to hear that AJ Styles told him to go away and that he'll punch him in the face if he keeps doing this. My favourite part about it is it means AJ Styles has now been inserted into the Seth Rollins verse, whatever we want to call it, and that's exactly where he should be. He's AJ Styles, man, and it ties into later. I am excited. Chad Gable then told the Oklahoma crowd that the Heavy A team is going to lose to thunderous boos. Well, we just got this great video with Rusev, who was like, listen, Sheamus, you're a tough guy, and you kind of made of granite, but your back sucks, so when we do fight, I'm going to break it. The good news about that is that his camel clutch finisher will totally destroy him when we cut to Sheamus, who was being really patronizing to American Made. Not American Made, the Alpha Academy. They're essentially the same, but one is good and one is bad. He was like, listen, Tozawa and friends, you have a lot of heart and I'm proud of you. And Natalia went, yes, Sheamus, and I'm as especially proud of Maxine Dupree. If I asked Maxine to be like, excuse me, I'm right here, I'm going to have a drink. He then got interviewed properly though, and the Irishman was like, that Rusev, what a pile of trash. Do you know he sank his own WWE career? And sure, we are good friends, or we were good friends. He even came to my wedding, but now he is running around saying the wrong things, so I'm gonna whoop his tuchus. I tell you, I don't care, man. I am well down for this fight, especially because they are buddies in real life, and you know that Sheamus likes to hit hard. I think this could be an absolute barn burner. Finn Balor and JD McDonagh then came to the ring to music nobody will ever recognize, when, yes, we do have to talk about the fact that Carlito wasn't there, because he got released too. Like in that earlier Judgment Day skit, the PS5 wasn't there, because that was Carlito's. And this really does suck. Like, once again, I understand people leaving the company or joining the company, but we couldn't have had one segment where, I don't know, we got run over by a truck, or at least give me something, man. At least tie it into the story. So you do have to give that a down. It just puts a sad feeling in your thoughts. Finn and JD were also taking on the War Raiders, so at least we're trying to add a brand new team to that tag team division, even though we need about 45 more. But I tell you, this was a really good match, because Finn Balor and JD McDonagh are brilliant, and we do not give the War Raiders their props. Eric and Ivar are massive dudes, and they just fly around the ring. Everything they do is believable. I like them. What we really need to do is give them more promo time, so everyone can start to care. The New Day were also on commentary, and thank goodness for this, because for whatever reason, Pat McAfee and Michael Cole were being really annoying in this match, saying dumb stuff like, well, maybe you should stop ducking the War Raiders. Kofi and Xavier were like, what are you talking about, you buffoons? We quite literally took them on last week. And then Michael Cole's like, yeah, but you tricked the creeds. Kofi was like, Julius tagged himself in. It's not our fault he's stupid. I was like, I'm sorry, Michael Cole, they're right. The R-Truth chance for them back, and you're damn right, I'm not going to let that go. I'm going to keep talking about it. When we got the big men slapping man meat, as Pat started to tell us that Xavier Woods had wonderful eyebrows. I was like, am I jet lagged or have I taken drugs? Ivar this time was just killing people, although everyone then got way too close to Alan the announce table. And that's when the New Day kind of got involved by accident. So the referee was like, you know what, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, you're pissing me off, man. You gotta go. I don't want to be that guy, but we should probably do that with more people. What did you think they were going to do? Before Woods did leave as well, JD McDonagh almost got thrown into the announce table, and he was like, oh no. Don't let it happen again, in reference to that time when JD McDonagh punctured a lung. So as always, don't come into my house and tell me the New Day aren't great. They're all time. I am going to throw a quick down in for Pat and Michael here as well, because I don't know what happened, because they were meant to be the good guys, the New Day were meant to be the bad guys, but they were so frustrating, and I actually enjoyed the New Day mugging them off. So something went wrong, they're down. The Judgment Day had basically been annihilated by this point too, so JD got out of the way of Ivar, who essentially went into Tina the Turnbuckle groin first, meaning his penis was now in pain. Don't really know how else to tell you that one, so I thought I'd be direct. Michael Cole then carried on this weird commentary because he was like, listen everyone, I had a chat with JD McDonagh earlier and he told me, sure, I'm not the biggest guy, but I do have the biggest heart. If I had any kind of friendship, it was like, oh, hey Steve, how you doing? They went, well, let me tell you, Simon, I'm not the biggest guy, but I have the biggest heart. I'd be like, listen, Steve, I'm going, you're nuts. Finn Balor then went for the coup de grace, but of course he totally missed because he never hits it on the first one. When out came Roxanne Perez. I want to make it very clear, I understand this is the whole point of the Judgment Day, but WWE had plans throughout the entire show, so I just think here we didn't need to do it. And I actually audibly went, oh, when I realized what was coming. There is way too much. We talked about this on SmackDown. Distraction, interference, confusion, or dick. The War Raiders couldn't handle the fact that Roxanne Perez was running around, so JD just pushed Ivar off the top rope, when of course Finn got the coup de grace for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, let's just turn it into a sentence. Actually, you know what? I'll leave it till later, because there is too much dicking around on WWE, but it's gonna happen at least 3 times more. So for now, I'll park it. This was a really good match though, and actually both teams are superbly underrated. So let's get them into that tag team division. Let's find some more teams, and we can build this. Like we've seen what WWE has done on SmackDown. We got potential, man. This is like reverse Jenga. We then got this really cool Becky Lynch pre-recorded promo who just reminded you that 1, she hates Lyra Valkyria, and 2, if she does lose at Money in the Bank, she can never challenge the IC title again, as long as Valkyria does have it around her waist. But more importantly, 3, when Becky wins, Lyra's gonna have to raise her hand. This would also be the hand that has held Lyra Valkyria down for all these months, which is a very good line. When the New Day were talking to Grayson Waller, saying, listen, you should leave Austin Theory. I would have walked in and gone, they've been teasing this for 18 months, friends. I think we need to let it go. American May then walked in too, because of course they're now mad at the New Day because they feel like the Creeds were screwed over last week, which they totally weren't. But it goes back to what I just said a second ago. More teams are sneaking in here, so we can establish the characters and we can actually get some of them in wins in non-title matches. Well, all of this could be very, very good, especially with the New Day on top. I'm just going to say it again, they're GOAT. We then got a graphic that told us that the women's cash-in success rate for Money in the Bank is 100%, but I think the men's was like 76%. But this was a pointless image. It didn't answer the biggest question, what the flub happens when you add Scott Steiner into the mix. Or Samoa Joe. We also saw Rhea Ripley and Stephanie Vaquer shake hands, and this place went absolutely nuts. So that feud is going to be absolutely excellent when we do get to it. When Lyra Valkyria walked out, she was so mad. It's like, man, Becky Lynch, she's doing it again. What an asshole. Nobody likes her, but don't worry, because I'm going to shut her up. Money in the Bank. She also said Becky was stupid and a coward when Becky Lynch walked out instantly. I know I do this all the time, but it makes me laugh, man. She must have been behind the curtain going, listen, everyone, I won't go out there unless she says I have a stupid face. I don't believe it. Valkyria was really good here though, and she has improved over the last few weeks because she just shut Becky down instantly and was like, you're so full of it, man. I know you're scared of me, and I don't want you anywhere near this Intercontinental Championship because you're going to poison it. It's like, well, don't poison it. Somebody could die. Lynch just knows Lyra hates her deep down because she wants to take Becky Lynch's space, but she's not able to do it because Becky Lynch is too good. And once again, you better hope you don't beat me at the pay-per-view, the PLE, because without me, you're nothing. I also thought that was a good line. Valkyria then quite literally screeched that she wanted a fight with Becky right now, and Lynch was like, I don't fight in Oklahoma. I shall wait to LA. Because I'm a nerd, I went on Cage Match. She has definitely fought in Oklahoma before, but they did have a big brawl when finally the useless security guards broke it up. So sometimes they can get it right. So this really was totally fine, and Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria having a really good feud. It works from week to week to week, and the mission is being achieved. Becky Lynch is making Lyra Valkyria feel more important, although she should win the championship on Saturday, and then you can finish this off at SummerSlam, whatever you want to do it. Giving it an up is very watchable. Penta was then yelling about the fact he is in Money in the Bank, and if he did this in the street, he'd be arrested. And at one point, he kind of exploded, or he was set on fire. Nobody gave us an update about that. I hope he's all right. We instantly cut to Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, who are about to do Jey Uso's entrance for their tag team match, and the pop here was absolutely insane. And they were indeed facing the teams of the Brons. It was Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker. And the presentation here, Paul Heyman walked out, he had Batman smoke around him, he said his catchphrase, and they came out looking like absolute beasts. I was like, I do believe we're going to have to give them all the tag team titles at one point, even the NXT women's ones. I was also super intrigued because I was like, well, they definitely can't lose, but you can't have Sam and Jay taking the pin either. That's when I realized, and this is the problem with it and why I dislike it so much, my brain said to me, they're going to be dicking around again, and man, did we get some dicks. Breakker absolutely murdered Jey Uso for a while as well, and even though Jey fought back and got the tag to Sami Zayn, Bronson Reed was then in, and these two guys, if they wanted to change their name to Two Big Men, slapping man meat, I'd be totally fine with it. We've got something here, friends, and we've got to run with it. Bron Breakker then used his girth to mow down Sami Zayn. I definitely should have said that out loud. Where Michael Cole was like, don't forget what John Cena said about Money in the Bank and teaming with Logan Paul. He thinks we can ruin wrestling by including more YouTubers into the mix. I can't lie, I took that personally. Sami Zayn eventually got the hot tag to Jey Uso, who went on a yeet attack. I bet Gunther was furious. But Bron Breakker hit him with this lung blower. And if I'd seen his stomach, his tum-tum come out of his mouth, I'd be like, well, of course that happens. It's science. It's when force equals pressure. Uso did stop the Super Bron Breakker spear for a 1-2 when he instantly applied the choke, which of course was hinting at what he's probably going to do against Gunther. Well, sometimes I also think maybe he should save that for the ring general. When Bronson Reed broke that up and everybody was fighting, they fell to the outside. When Jay and Sam remembered it was 2025, so they did some dives. When Seth Rollins just ran in, because apparently 12 minutes is the time when heels get really antsy. He hit a curb stomp, the referee saw it, and it ended in a disqualification. Now, once again, if anybody on this show is going to be doing this, it should be Seth Rollins' group for all the things we talked about earlier, but it happened so many times. And also, there's like a bad part to this. It makes the Judgment Day feel like these guys, and these guys feel like the Judgment Day, and you want to separate them. So I'm going to do something I rarely do. I'm giving it 2 downs because we ain't even done with all of this, but I don't want to address it again. And I know, I care, all right? I care. Doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean I'm wrong, but I'm just so sick of it, I don't want to be a dick. Rollins then told his cronies to kill these guys, and Bronson took that literally because he was going to do a tsunami off Tina the Turnbuckle to the outside when, of course, here came CM Punk. He had a chair, and he chased them all away, and this is exactly what you want. It's Babyface 101, and he always gets a pop. And also, there was this great shot of CM Punk, Sami Zayn, and Jey Uso kind of looking like the Shield back in the day. And the match itself was absolutely brilliant because once again, we've got something here. Just need to move away from these finishes because I expect them now, or save it for this program, this feud. That's where it makes the most sense. So it is getting it up and you should watch it. The Judgment Day were then backstage again as Liv Morgan and Finn Bálor went to one side to have the most passive-aggressive conversation ever, with Liv being like, I don't trust you, and I don't trust Roxanne. Finn being like, man, you just got to give it time. You're so impatient. Of course, Finn also mentioned that, yeah, all right, Roxanne has been flirting with Dominic a little bit. And even went way too full on with, you can trust Mysterio, he'd never cheat on you. And he said, if you do want to build the trust in Roxanne, Raquel's about to have a match, why doesn't she go to the ring with her? Morgan was like, it's not going to happen. We also made sure we continued the second longest tease in WWE, which was Dominic being like, dude, I'm so sorry I screwed up with the chair last week. And Finn being like, I don't mind it at all. Though I am intrigued here, because I have no idea which one's going babyface and which one's going heel, but the title match is coming. Maybe in 2046. It was then Raquel Rodriguez versus Kairi Sane with Liv Morgan in Raquel's corner. So nobody in charge watches the show because they always get involved. But actually, the second half of this I thought really picked up. Raquel is such a good big woman slapping man meat, and Kairi Sane is a great babyface who sells. I thought this was a really fun match. Liv Morgan, of course, was cheap shotting as much as possible when we got another R-Truth chant, and these did pop out throughout the evening. And at one point, Kairi jumped off the top rope, and Rodriguez turned that into this devastating flatliner. I thought Kairi was dead. Kairi then did the weirdest chop block I'd ever seen, followed by a blockbuster when she did walk the plank. I was like, yeah, she's meant to be a pirate. I think we should lean into this more, and she should have a crew. Should be Kairi Sane and her pirate buddies. When everybody else in WWE has friends, why can't she? Liv Morgan would not stop getting involved by this point, so of course out came Io Sky, who must have been watching from the back. Although surely instantly, when you saw Liv Morgan come out with Raquel, you would have done the same for your pal Kairi Sane. So you've got a lot to apologise for, Io Sky. It totally worked though, because Raquel Rodriguez's head then went smashing into rear of the ring post. Kairi hit the insane elbow and she got the 1, 2, 3. This is another reason why I gave those 2 downs, because it goes to the D, everybody, which is distractions. I just need to do less of them. I don't know why it irks me, but it does. However, the match is going to get an up. Kairi Sane has now got 2 big wins the last couple of weeks, which is always good when you have just come back. And as for Raquel Rodriguez, I think very, very underrated. But do not break up her with Liv Morgan. I'm worried about this. It's not the time. Karrion Kross then found Sami Zayn and basically continued to tease that maybe he will turn heel. It's like, dude, you have too many friends. You're always trying to do the right thing. But I know deep down you're not a good guy. You're a bad guy. And if you had been your true self, you would have been a 10-time champion. Sami doesn't agree at all and actually got mad here when Karrion did his whole maybe I'm wrong and maybe I'm right. So I want to know what the payoff is, because of course people are into Karrion Kross, and we all love Sami Zayn, so WWE has something here. But at the moment, Kross is only on TV for like 30 seconds every single week, and you need to capitalize on it. You probably need to do it soon. Julia then had this really cool video which helped a lot when Roxanne Perez was being interviewed in the crowd. She was essentially like, yes, I do love Finn Bálor, and also I'm going to be Mrs. Money in the Bank. We also got the rundown for the pay-per-view. Actually, if you have 3 minutes today, I would watch this, because it's got that crazy jazz music over the top. It's almost like WWE is playing this for comedy. It looked a little bit like a Benny Hill sketch. We then just got this great video for Gunther versus Jey Uso next week as the world title is on the line, when we cut to the locker room and Gunther did one of those speeches where he just emotionally manipulates Jey Uso. Like, man, so happy with what you've done with that World Championship because it means a lot to me. But look how broken you are. You're out there helping your friends. I just know if CM Punk gets into trouble later, you're going to be there again. And you have a tag team match at Money in the Bank 2 days before our fight. You're totally screwed, Jay. Whereas I, Gunther, don't give a crap about any of that. So this story is really good. I mean, it could be how Gunther wins, or maybe, just maybe, Seth Rollins is going to cash in. Of course, Jay was so mad, he essentially said he's going to tap you out again. I am very excited for this world title match on TV, and maybe this is something we could do more of. Let's use those big stars. But I am going to give it an up because it totally got me to buy in when our main event was our last men's qualifier for the Money in the Bank. CM Punk versus El Grande Americano versus AJ Styles. And for a little bit, for the first time in 2 decades, AJ and CM Punk did have a fight. So wrestling can be so simple, man. Hook it to my veins. Punk was really great here too, because at one point he grabbed El Grande and threw him out the ring and went, oh, man, come on, Chad, revealing his identity. But maybe you shouldn't have done that, because Americano then came back with lucha moves. He does know the dark arts. They then just worked so damn well together, and at one point Styles was going for the Styles Clash on Punk, but El Grande Americano flew in from the top, then he was doing moonsaults, and he missed moonsaults, then all of a sudden CM Punk got him with the Styles Clash, or the Styles Clash with the GTS, but you could just tell by the way he maneuvered himself, he wasn't going to get that 3, even though he would have had in like a normal world. But Seth Rollins and his goons had appeared outside. They pulled him out the ring. Because it's a 3-way, this wasn't a disqualification, but it most certainly was interference and distraction. AJ Styles then got pissed off for this and remembered it was 2025, so did this awesome dive. But when he went to give El Grande the phenomenal forearm, that damn luchador had stuck a piece of metal into his mask. He headbutted AJ Styles. The referee was just like, well, he must have a great headbutt because he doesn't watch the show either. He pinned him. I'm not going to lie to you. I was stunned. A 3-way match with CM Punk and AJ Styles. El Grande Americano won. I mean, we are not in Kansas anymore, Toto. Chad Gable just totally vanished after this. That's because Seth Rollins and his boys were going to destroy the baby faces. And this Bronson Reed as ever went crazy. He hit 2 tsunamis, meaning Raw ended with Seth and his friends standing tall. And this is the way to do it when you do have a brand new heel group. You have to be scared of them, especially given what Sami Zayn said earlier. They need to be stopped. And as for Jey Uso, who was also trying to help, well, now he's got a lot on his plate, and maybe he's not going to be able to eat it. Yeet, but it is getting it up. And I would give it a down, given that we did have more dick, but like I've said, here it makes all the sense in the world. And also, I feel like I've made my point. But yes, I thought this was a really good go-home show for Money in the Bank, because it's got me super excited about who's going to win that briefcase. I think on the men's side, it will be Seth, and I'm hoping for Naomi on the women's. But also now we know that Seth Rollins, if he does get that world championship, Jey Uso is screwed, CM Punk is screwed, Sami Zayn is screwed. So the story here could be really good. I'm giving it an up. It's worth your time. Now, of course, please do leave me a comment below and let me know what you thought about last night's episode of Raw. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Kick the video on the screen, which is ups and downs from smack it down, as my voice goes weird. And now I must sleep, because I've had literally no sleep for around about 24 hours. But who cares, man? Because we live the dream. This bold asshole will see you soon.